Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So this is going to be a very short hangout. I have a lot of things that I need to do this evening. But when I saw this story, I said that I have to get on here. Truth to power without fear. So this is going to be a very short hangout. I have a lot of things that I need to Sorry about that. So when I saw this story, I said I have to get on here and I have to do this video. Because this story is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm going to share my screen with you all in a second. Shout out to Hollow Ninja 10. Thanks for tuning in. So let me share my screen. I'm going to get right into it. Again, I don't have that much time tonight. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Just bear with me one second. So here's an article that I saw on Yahoo News. You know, a couple of my friends on Facebook posted this article, and I actually heard about this when I got home from work. I was watching CNN, and they mentioned this briefly. So what I'm going to do is just summarize some of the key points here. As you all know, Michael Cohen testified today before Congress. Michael Cohen used to be Donald Trump's so-called fixer, you know, his attorney who fixed various problems that Trump encountered. So this is a man who has worked with Donald Trump for like 10 years, from what I understand. This is a man who knows Donald Trump well. He has a lot of information on Donald Trump, and he exposed a lot of very damaging information about Donald Trump, basically stating that Donald Trump is a con man, that he is a racist, you know, that he lies about his finances and all kinds of things. And one thing that came out during this particular hearing is something that was exposed earlier, and that was just Donald Trump's racist nature. And just bear with me one second, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. So Donald Trump made racist statements to his own attorney, and Michael Cohen exposed this stuff. For instance, Michael Cohen says that Donald Trump said, "Name a country run by a black person that is not a shithole." And Donald Trump made this statement when Obama was in the White House. So this is a man that suggests that black people are incapable of governing anything, that black people destroy things, that black people ruin countries. So again, he said, name a country run by a black person that's not a shithole. He also was driving through some area in Chicago, from what I understand, based on Michael Cohen's statement. And he said something to the effect that only black people could live this way. Looking out into the street, seeing a black neighborhood, saying that only black people can live this way. Another example of his racism. Then Donald Trump said that black people were too stupid to vote for him. Another example of his racism. This is what his own attorney has disclosed, documenting that this man is a racist. So during his testimony before Congress, he echoed these same statements. He told them that Donald Trump was a racist, and he cited those examples that were previously exposed months ago. So you had this Republican, Representative Mark Meadows, who invited this black woman by the name of Lynne Patton to stand before Congress, you know, stand behind him to make a point about Donald Trump not being racist. He went on to say this as this black woman was standing behind him. And let me try to see if I can pull up a picture of this woman standing behind him so you could see the imagery. Just bear with me a second. I'm going to Google this so that you can see what this woman looks like. So here's the scene right here. As this guy is talking, he has this black woman behind him, stand up, to bring home the point that Donald Trump couldn't possibly be a racist because he has this black woman working for him. Now, I'm going to go back to the quote for a second. He said this: "You made some very demeaning comments that Mrs. Patton doesn't agree with," referring to that black woman. She says, "As a daughter of a man born in Birmingham, Alabama, there's no way that she would work for an individual who is racist, who was a racist." How do you reconcile the two of those? And then Cohen talked about how his parents were Holocaust survivors. He said, "Neither should I, as the son of a Holocaust survivor." And then this guy went on to say this, this Representative Meadows said, "I've talked to the president over 300 times and I've never heard him one time make a racist statement out of his mouth in private." So that's basically what he's saying. And then Michael Cohen brings home a strong point, like during this questioning. He says, "Ask Ms. Patton how many people who are black executives at the Trump organization. The answer is 0. So the fact that he has this person appointed to a particular position in his administration doesn't mean that he's not a racist. And I'm going to get into that in a second. Let me get her exact position. Yeah, I don't think it specifies here, but from what I recall, she's a HUD official. And also, this article points out how there was a sharp exchange between the congressman and this congresswoman, Representative Tlaib from Michigan, a Democrat from Michigan. She basically said that, to use a black woman as a prop is racist. That was one of her points, basically suggesting that this guy was a racist, and they had an exchange. And I'm not going to go into all the details of it. You all can, read this article. It is going to be posted in the description box so that you all can check it out. But I just want to bring home some points, man. Just because Donald Trump hires a few token Negroes, that doesn't mean that he's somehow absolved of racism. Just because he hires a Mammy on his plantation, that doesn't mean that he's not a racist. The slave master had black people working for him. Many races have people working for them. The segregationists have black people working for them as their mammies and their butlers, as their shoeshine boys and stuff like that. The colonialists, the colonizers, had black people working for them as their puppets and stuff like that to advance their agenda. You think that because they appoint some token Negroes, some modern day lawn jockeys, some modern day mammies and coons, that it's all of a sudden that means they're absolved of racism, especially a man like Donald Trump with a long record of racism? His own attorney is here saying that he's made all these racist statements. His own attorney says this. So let me stop sharing my screen real quick, and I'm going to get into my commentary before I close out, man, because this is crazy. Just because you hire some black woman to be the front for one of your agencies or whatever, to be in some token position in your agency, that doesn't mean you're not a racist, especially when we look at Donald Trump's track record. This is a man who referred to Africa and Haiti as shithole countries. A whole continent he refers to as a shithole. This is a man who defended white supremacists in Charlottesville. This is a man who talked about how there are good people on both sides. At an event where a white supremacist rammed his car into a crowd of people, killing one person. At an event where white supremacists beat black people. At an event where white supremacists were calling black people niggers and stuff. At an event where a white supremacist fired a gun at a crowd of people. But in Donald Trump's mind, there were good people on both sides, despite all that. This is a man who campaigned by pandering to white supremacists. This is a man who was hesitant to renounce David Duke, a man who supported his campaign. This is a man who received all this support from these white supremacists when he was running for office. But because he hired some token Negro, this idiotic representative expects us to believe that somehow he's not racist. This is a man, Donald Trump, who said he didn't want black people counting his money. But because he hired some token Negro woman in some administrative position, all of a sudden he's absolved of racism. I haven't heard anything more ridiculous than that. This is a man who referred to the black football players who protest during the playing of the national anthem. He called them sons of bitches. This is a man who said these kind of things. This is a man who was sued twice by the housing, for housing discrimination, twice by the Department of Justice. And you expect us to believe that because he hired some Negro in his administration that absolves him of his racism. This is a man who took out a full-page ad calling for the death penalty against those brothers who were wrongfully convicted of being involved with that Central Park raping. And after they were exonerated, this man refuses to apologize to those brothers. This is the man that this representative is saying is not a racist. This is a man who encouraged his white racist supporters to attack black protesters during his campaign rallies, talking about he would hire an attorney to represent them. But we gonna actually believe that because he hired some token Negro woman, that all of a sudden that means he's not a racist? They must think we were born yesterday or something. They must think that we're stupid or something to believe that nonsense. This Donald Trump has an atrocious record when it comes to civil rights, man. Created some sham voter fraud commission to suppress black and Latino voters. But you want us to believe that this man is not a racist because he has some token Negro in his administration. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. We look at him going after affirmative action, trying to use the Justice Department as a weapon against affirmative action. This is a man who joked about police brutality. This is a man whose administration said that police brutality was some local matter. But because he appoints some token Negro lawn jockey to some position, we're supposed to believe that he's not a racist. And the fact that you got a black woman that would allow this representative to use her as some kind of prop tells you how lost she is. It tells you how ignorant she is. It tells you how foolish she is. It tells you how she suffers from Stockholm syndrome. Absolutely outrageous, man. Parading this black woman before the whole world to prove that this guy is not a racist. When he put that black woman out there, it reminded me of how the slave masters used to parade around black people at the slave markets. That's what it reminded me of. It's outrageous, man. It's outrageous that you would have a black woman sell out like that. Here you have Donald Trump's own attorney stating that this man made these racist statements, and then this black woman's going to be allow them to use her as some kind of pawn in some political chess game. It's a disgrace, man. An absolute disgrace. It's insane. But anyway, let me see what you all are saying before I sign out, man. Just seeing that black woman parading around like that is just sickening, man. And it's sickening that a black woman would allow herself to be used as a shield against charges of racism, to be a buffer Negro for Donald Trump, to be a crash dummy for Donald Trump. It's a shame. And, it's a shame that In a way, I mean, it seems like Elijah Cummings would know that this is an example of racism. But because of his personal connection with this representative, you know, he couldn't call it out or whatever. And I just think that that's sad, man. But let me see what you all are saying before I sign out, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Just bear with me a second. So you got somebody saying that, you know, questioning whether or not people should believe Michael Cohen. And I can understand why people question him. I mean, this is a man, after all, who lied under oath, you know, lied to Congress, you know, a man who's being convicted for lying. So I can understand why somebody would question his credibility. But it's like at this point, what incentive does he have to lie? I mean, this guy is going to jail. He's already lost his license to practice law. So what incentive does he have at this point to lie? And then his statements about Donald Trump are consistent with Donald Trump's track record in terms of his racism. You know, somebody else already exposed to the press that Donald Trump made those statements about Africa and Haiti and stuff like that. And that's consistent with what Michael Cohen is saying. So I don't have any reason right now to doubt what Michael Cohen is saying about Donald Trump. I don't have any reason to doubt that Donald Trump did, in fact, make these racist statements. Yeah, I don't really watch Lethal Lady's channel like that, so I don't know what he's talking about over there, but I may have to check it out. Water Sniper, shout out to you. Um, yeah, I understand. I mean, again, I understand why people are questioning whether or not Michael Cohen is telling the truth. I mean, that's just obvious at this point. But to try to suggest that Donald Trump is not a racist, that's absurd. The record speaks for itself. I mean, this guy um, uses just his position of power to try to undermine voting rights. This man is going after affirmative action. This man is trying to undermine the work that was done by the Obama administration when it comes to these various police departments around the country and their racist practices. Here in Baltimore, there's a consent decree entered against the police department to try to correct some of these wrongs that have occurred here for years. And the Trump administration tried to put a delay on the implementation of that consent decree. The Trump administration even questioned whether or not they even need a consent decree. And, you know, all the other things that I told you, all the other examples that I provided to you of this man being a racist. And another thing is he appointed white supremacists to be in key positions within his administration. All these people with ties to the alt-right. And the alt-right is nothing but a euphemism for white supremacists. So, I mean, you can miss me with all this stuff trying to prove that Donald Trump is not a racist. You know, Donald Trump has referred to African Americans as, you know, that's my African American over there, like he owns that particular black person. That's how he speaks. That's how he regards black people. This man said that black people were too stupid to vote for him. But yet you got some black people that are so stupid that they actually get on here and defend this man. They actually get on here and support this man. They actually running around here like some fools with that Make America Great Again hat on, which is nothing but, as this actor said, a modern day Klan hood That's what it is. That slogan, "Make America Great Again," really just means make America white again. But you got these idiots that want to co-sign that stuff, black buffoons running around here looking like buffoons and idiots with that "Make America Great Again" hat. And you actually have some of these ADOS people co-signing that stuff. As I told y'all before, your girl Yvette Carnell had on one of those hats, supporting and co-signing that stuff, man. But anyway, let me go into these comments. I'm not going to repeat myself. I mean, I see this person is constantly defending Donald Trump. And with that, you know, I'm just going to get this person off my channel. I mean, obviously, you're a troll. You found the wrong channel. I mean, you need to go over to one of those Donald pro-Trump channels, you know, and comment over there. It's just crazy, man, that you got some black woman that will allow herself to be pimped out like that as some prop to defend this Donald Trump guy. And then here's another troll. I mean, I wonder where these trolls are coming from, man. Let me hide you off my channel. And another one. Jeez. They must have got some kind of memo or something out for these trolls. Yeah, unfortunately, Covita, man, you're right about some of these separatists. They do love Donald Trump. You know, you actually have some of them going on record talking about Donald Trump should make it so bad for black people that we had no choice but to separate and stuff. You got a lot of people like that. And you got a lot of these people that discourage people from even participating in the voting process. Yeah, so with that, I'm going to say peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content. Peace.